it's cold, rainy day. Well, that's if you're in Melbourne. We've got a great guest on today. Looking forward to bringing you all of the yummy delights that come with this very special guest.
Yes, another week. Welcome, kia ora, and welcome to Creative Talk Podcast. My name is Kabraska King.
And I'm Amber King. And today we're speaking with a powerhouse in the wellness space. And I've got to tell you, her food is next level and it's healthy. Is that a thing?
It is if you work with her. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
She's made it like that purposely, and it is fantastic.
Yeah, I wish she was our personal chef.
Me too.
But first, let's catch up on last week.
Yes, let's. Last week we had a beautiful Shonee Samia spend time with us, share space with us, and really delve deep into her world of creativity, being an actor, stunt woman, powerlifter, producer, film creator. She's just doing all things on all levels across multiple channels, and it was I was very grateful that she had time to actually be with us last week to talk about everything to do with her business, her journey, and all of the all the difficulties that she's finding within that space of film, where there's not a lot of representation from people like us,
for Māori and PI.
It just doesn't seem to be that active in that space, and they're not getting as much support as they used to be. For me, it was really eye-opening to just see, one, how beautiful and talented she is, and then two, how busy she is.
Oh gosh.
and how she's managing all these different worlds while at the same time building her own new one.
And not only that, she came through in her early 20s surviving not one but two brain tumors.
She did.
And that kind of put her on the path through recovery, put her on the path to find what her passion is. And, and then she decided to go for it. So it's about, if there was a moral of the story, it's about finding your thing sooner than later and not, not hesitating, like going after it. Because as she said, nothing is guaranteed. Our time on this earth is not guaranteed. So why waste it?
That's a great point. I think a lot of us just spend that time wasting time.
Yeah.
We don't have a sense of urgency. We just wake up every day and think, oh, it's another, today it's Tuesday, it's Wednesday. And there's not a lot of motivation for us to do anything, to push ourselves further, to like really look at it as like, this could be your last day here.
Yeah.
And it's sad to say that experience she had is what really is now just like the constant driving force, along with her faith and everything that she does, creatively, is all played a huge part in her becoming the woman that she's become, and also the creative that she's going to be.
I know, and it's exciting for to see how she's bringing those stories together of representation, and she's an award-winning filmmaker, creative up there in the Gold Coast, and she's gone through a lot of trials and tribulations and a lot of learnings, but it's something that she's passionate about, and so are we. And our next guest coming on today, she's passionate about helping Māori and Pasifika communities as well. And it's like, if we're not going to do it, who's going to do it?
Well, that's the thing. If we're not going to advocate for ourselves, our own gifts and our own people, who is? No one.
Yeah.
And so we have to. We have to be our voices. We have to be our best supporters, we have to get out there and actually show what it is that we are gifted with and talented at. Because no one's going to celebrate for us but us.
And the thing is, we're natural storytellers.
We are. We've always told stories.
Yeah, and that's something that Shonee is tapping into, because she's a storyteller and she wants to tell the stories of our people and give them a voice and give them a platform. So, yeah, full respect to her and what she's doing in that creative side, and she's taking on a big thing. But I know, well, she's kicking so many goals in so many areas. I don't know how she finds time to do it.
I don't know how she finds time to do it either. She's such a busy woman. She's flying all over the place. She's between LA, US, and then back here, and then back in New Zealand, and then all over the place. I'm looking forward to seeing her projects, and we couldn't talk a lot about it because it's top secret. It's all top secret under wraps, but like it's so exciting and it's so cool. And hopefully when she is at the stage to either reveal a trailer or share some more insights into those films that she's working on at the moment, which we can't say anything about, hopefully she can send us the trailer and we can talk about it live here on Creative Talk, which would be awesome. It'd be amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah.
Great. Well, now I think it's time to welcome our very special guest to the show, introducing the very talented Bridget Foliaki-Davis. Kia ora, Bridget. How are you?
Kia ora, guys. I am well, thank you. Very well.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time out to come on with, we know you're a busy lady and you've got a lot of things happening in the world as well. How's your day been? How's your week been? How's the year been?
Oh, look, pretty much like you fellas, I reckon. Just busy. We just open our eyes and we go, and then we close our eyes, and that's when we stop.
It's a bit like that. It's like we never stop on the train. It just seems like one long journey of just maybe I'm getting some rest today, maybe I'm not sure, but I'm here for it regardless.
It's just, it's been an interesting year, but I've got to be honest, it's been an interesting life doing what I'm doing as an entrepreneur. It's just, there's always something happening. It's definitely not boring.
Well, that's good. We don't want boring, because boring is when, we get complacent and when we lose motivation. So Carrasco has got a little bit of a video that he's going to be showing just as a little intro into something special that you do, Bridget, if we're going to play that now.
Choose from over a dozen. I'm Bridget Foliaki-Davis, functional nutritionist, award-winning chef, and the creator of the 28-day boost camp. Here is what you need to know. This is not another diet. It is a complete step-by-step system, your roadmap, your guide to a sustainable and healthy lifestyle. You get to choose from over a dozen proven meal plans: fat loss for less, the cortisol reset, gut health makeover, or a sustainable keto approach that actually works. You choose the meal plan that works best for you and your desired health and wellness or weight loss goals. Now, each meal plan is a chef design, that'll be me, science-backed and ready to go. All the meal plans come with all the recipes, shopping lists, prep lists, and even bonus snack recipes. You will not go hungry here. No deprivation, no starvation, just real people, real food, and real results. You also get unlimited access to the Boost Camp Academy, which is your discovery platform. Learn at your own pace, master the why behind the food. You get community, real support, real engagement, live monthly seminars where I answer your questions and guide you deeper, live cooking classes from a master chef who knows how it feels to want a healthier and leaner body. You could lose up to 10% of your current body weight in only 28 days when you follow my proven step-by-step program. Tens of thousands of people all around the world have used the system to get extraordinary results. Boost Camp works for anybody, any fitness level, any age. Just choose your meal plan, start your reset, join the community. You are not alone in this. Welcome to the 28-day Boost Camp.
Now, Bridget, that is an amazing product that you've created, wielded, formed, and now pushed out into the world as your own baby. And it's only one of the many, which I'm really excited for us to be able to share all the different places where your passion your love for food, your nutrition, and all your expertise within that field is now becoming something that is changing people's lives, is helping people lose weight, is really helping them to maintain things that they thought they never could. You know, that passion of you to do with regards to food, where does that come from? Where did that initiate from? And why is there such a big hunger for you to really push this out to the world?
Well, I think that's really the word, hungry. You know, I go to bed thinking about food. I wake up thinking about food. It seems to be like, I can remember being 4 years old, and I know that because I wasn't quite at school, and my older, siblings were already at school, and I was home and just never wanting to leave the kitchen. If someone was in the kitchen cooking, I wanted to be there. I wanted to be watching. I wanted to be helping. And of course, I'm just getting shooed away because I'm getting in the way because I'm just this annoying little kid. But there's always been, I've felt a pull into the space where food is created. So I like to call the kitchen my happy place, because it really is the place where I feel the most at home. When I'm having a hard day, I go into the kitchen. When I'm having a good day, I go into the kitchen. And so it's not just about creating food that nourishes me. And for a long time, it wasn't even about creating nourishment. It was just creating, food that I desired.
Yeah.
And it wasn't doing me too many favors, I have to tell you. But it's also about creating food to give to people, people that I love, food that I love to people that I love.
Yeah. So are you saying you're a bit of a feeder there, Bridget?
I am, and I've got a husband who's a bit of an eater. So
match made in heaven.
I'll tell you what, I do the cooking, he does the cleaning, he's a happy man.
No, I wouldn't complain with that deal. I'd be happy to do the dishes every day.
But who's going to do the cooking?
I don't know, Bridget.
Yeah. There's got to be.
The kitchen's clean.
That's it. That's all there is. There's no food.
No, it's a great combination that he definitely does like to eat, but I mean most of us do.
Yes.
When we associate 100%. Memories, it's often about what we were eating, a particular taste, a flavor, a smell, a moment that that really stands out in our memory, especially as kids, right?
Yeah.
We remember the auntie who made the most amazing pudding, or for me it was my grandmother who was the most amazing pickler. She could pickle, and she was known for her pickles throughout the North Island, the top of the North Island of New Zealand. She was known for her pickles. So, food has this way of really capturing our attention, drawing us into a narrative without even us realizing that we're doing it. And I think one of my most concerning thoughts that I'm having as a chef and now as a nutritionist is that we're moving away from the kitchen. We're allowing more and more convenience foods to come into our lives. And I think we're beginning to lose that real essence of creating memories, not just for ourselves, but for anyone who walks into our kitchen.
That's true. Like I know a lot of younger people nowadays don't know how to do the basics in the kitchen, right? Don't know how to cut an onion or cook something we would have thought was easy. I'm not saying I'm a chef. Like I can do basic and I can follow recipes, but it's amazing how many kids don't have those skills anymore, and it's their first thing is to Uber Eats.
100%, because it's no longer necessary. It's like it's almost no longer necessary to drive depending on where you live.
Yeah, true.
You can Uber everywhere, and now you don't have to cook because you can get food to live. You can order food from something that lives in your pocket and it turns up at your door. And so, where's the incentive to learn these skills? And it breaks my heart a little bit. That potentially we're losing this time-honored tradition of gathering and eating the food, the kai that someone has prepared for us. And that's, it's a little bit sad, eh?
And you're right, because it's not just the memory of the food and the tasting of it and doing that. It's also a connection piece that we're missing too, right? Like that whole memory of you smelling those those amazing smells of onions being cooked, or being in there and seeing your auntie chop everything up. And I have vivid memories of my mum always preparing mince, which was like our staple within our home. And she had 110 recipes for mince, but like she could do that. And every time I'd come back from school, you'd always have that smell. And that's not to say when you get Uber Eats or DoorDash or any of those others. It's just not the same.
Creation. And you also miss out on the kaitiaki, the caring for someone else, that caretaker element that we took for granted growing up.
We
which
did.
is part of, mum and dad were cooking, or auntie and uncle or grandma, whoever it was, there was this village of people who were constantly feeding us, and we wrap up so many memories in those moments. And I don't remember, the last thing I ordered off Uber Eats. I don't know.
Neither.
Yeah.
It was convenient at the time, but there's no memory attached to it. I do remember it was really expensive.
Yes.
That's what I do remember.
Yes.
And it was never any good.
And you're like,
when it comes, you're like, I should have just made it myself.
Yeah.
Like takeaway containers have gotten so much smaller than
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
And that's the thing, like, talking about memories and food, when you come together as a family, as a whānau, you come together around food, right? And so if it's a celebration, it's around food. Even a tangi or a funeral, it's around food. You do remember those times when you came together and made it something special. Not just, you're not going to be sitting there ordering Uber Eats for a big
marae.
Imagine that.
God.
You'd be like, get in the kitchen and help put this on your phone.
Pass the phone around the table. Put your order in.
Oh man, we'll get kicked out.
No way.
No way. No hangi on Uber Eats. Well, I don't think there is.
Picked out the marae, you get out of here.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. It's sad, but it's also, I think, when I look at these moments, it's an opportunity for us to say, hey, where are we, as a society? Where do we need to invest some time?
Yeah.
And I think we have to invest some time in making sure that the younger ones are able to feed themselves.
Yes.
In some basic form. They don't have to be great gourmet chefs, but they definitely, if they want to be able to, I'm thinking about long term, be able to look after themselves, be able to look after their health, to understand that one of the most important things you can do for your body is to cook your own food, because then you're in complete control of what ingredients are going into it. So understanding the basics, like every human, unless they're vegetarian, should know how to roast a chicken.
Yeah.
It should just be, second nature, but we're losing those real basic skills.
Yes. Speaking of body and how important it is to fuel your body in the right way, Bridget, you've spoken openly, about miscarriage, emotional eating, and using food as kind of like a food and alcohol to cope. So looking back now, what do you think your body was trying to tell you during that period?
Stop.
Yeah.
Like my body was telling me a lot of things. I just wasn't listening. But I think it's more than just not listening. I didn't understand the signals it was sending me. I was in my early 40s, so I'm just like, I'm middle-aged now. It's my time to become overweight, frumpy and grumpy, and my life as a young vital woman is now heading into its next stage, and just deal with it. So it's kind of that timing that happened for me. And my body kept on giving me these signals, like, that when you eat that, I'm going to give you bloating. I'm going to give you inflammation. I'm ensuring that there is absolutely no chance that you're able to lose weight, and you're, and that you're sleeping really poorly, and all these types of signals that I wasn't aware was my body saying, hey, this is not good. And it wasn't until I was diagnosed, I had a miscarriage, and that was me blaming myself and then, self-medicating with more terrible food, more alcohol to kind of get over that pain of that miscarriage. And it wasn't until I was diagnosed with fatty liver disease, and I was pre-diabetic.
Wow.
And I was told if you don't do something about it, they didn't tell me what that something was.
Yeah,
if you do something about it, our next course is going to have to be medication.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm in my early 40s, and you're telling me I could have to take this medication potentially for the rest of my life. And I was like, no way, there's got to be something I can do.
Yeah.
So I took action based on getting scared pretty much, getting that diagnosis. I wish I hadn't waited to that diagnosis, but I was in a place like, I know how to cook. I've been working in professional kitchens since I was 14. I know how to cook. I've worked in some of the best restaurants in the world, all around the world, with some of the best chefs in the world. And what I realized is, you know how to cook, but you have no idea how to eat. Like, you have no idea what food is once it goes into your waha and goes into your tummy. You have no idea whatsoever.
That's such a good point that you say that you knew how to cook but didn't know how to eat. I don't think all of us know how to eat properly for our own bodies. We eat and we consume, But I don't think we are, like yourself, listening to those signals from the body or even know what those signals are. And then even less of us know what to do. And it sounds like through your own journey, you've been able to piece together the things that work for yourself first. And now are able to share that with much more people around the world at the same time.
Yeah, it was definitely a, come to Jesus moment for me. Sort of like, if you don't do something, but I'm not going to tell you what that something is, then you're just going to have to go on medication. And I was like, oh, okay. So I started to do my own research, started to kind of, because one of the side effects of being very unhealthy and being in a lot of pain, constant pain, being, chronically fatigued, one of the symptoms of this really poor diet and this really high intake of alcohol, like I was drinking at one point probably about half a bottle of vodka a day. Wow. And so that's like a generous, not a hip flask, I'm talking a proper full-size bottle of vodka a day. And the consequences of that was also that I was chronically depressed. So I was hibernating away from the world, locking the bedroom door so I didn't have to spend time with my husband or my kids or anyone who came to visit us. I was completely hibernating. Yeah. And being in that sort of condition, being in my room, locked in my room for such a long time, I had the internet. And so I began to research, like, I don't want to feel like this anymore. There must be something that I can do. And thank goodness that I didn't rely on the medication route. Not saying there's anything wrong with that, but for me personally, that's not something that I envisaged for my life when I was this healthy young child, running around, being so active. I didn't think I'd be in my early 40s and being told you're going to have medication for the rest of your life. I didn't think that was a possibility. So, I started researching, and it was the best thing I've ever done. Like, I can't even remember what that Bridget was like that was locked in that room. Yeah. Afraid to talk to her kids. I was afraid to talk to my children because I didn't want them to see what their mother had become. Yeah. And it's a horrible vortex, and that vortex is only going in one direction, which was down. And getting off that ride for a start, that was incredible. But beginning to educate myself on how to eat, and there is a big gap between fueling ourselves and feeding ourselves with nutrition. There's a big gap. Yeah.
Do you find now, Bridget, there is something, you see that in a lot of your clients, the same type of thing that you went through, the hiding, the feeling bad and depressed, and two, is that something then you actually help them through with your products and your services?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I find that a lot of people that find me, usually on the internet, because we're a digital business primarily, but people who find me is they're wounded. They've had things happen in their life, and it could be anything from grief right through to a traumatic injury, through to, like myself, just accepting what society tells us should be happening to us, especially to females, right? Yeah. Society always tells women, oh, this is how you should wear your hair when you're over 40, all that sort of garbage. And a lot of the women who come to us have been bombarded with that sort of rhetoric for so long that we just keep on believing it. So we have wounded people who come to us. We have people who've got pre-existing health conditions, a lot of them caused by decades of poor eating, and their bodies got to the point, like my body got to, where it said, enough. I can't do this anymore. You've broken me down. You either fix me or I'm gonna break even faster, right in front of your eyes.
And do you feel, Bridget, that's also a piece of people actually being disconnected from both the way that they nutritionally need to look after their body because they've been programmed to do things in a certain way or told to do things in a certain way, but also being disconnected from their own body at the same time? Do you think that's part of what kind of happens to different people throughout life?
Yeah, that's such a great question, because it's almost down to the very core of, because I'm not sure if you guys have ever had that experience where one day you wake up and you're literally like, oh, geez, I put on a bit of weight.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not as healthy. And suddenly you just feel like, you're like, where did this weight? It just kind of crept up, right?
Yeah.
And it's sort of understanding whether it's a trigger, and sometimes it is. Sometimes it is quite a traumatic life event that sees us spiral in a negative way. But often it's just this slow progression that, how we grew up eating, we take these lessons with us into our from childhood to adult
100%.
life.
Yes.
We just get, this is just what we were taught, even though we weren't intentionally sat down and said, this is how you eat, but this is what we have observed as kids or as as young adults. And we take all of that observation into our adult life without actually realizing that we're doing it.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's not until you stop and you go, so that stuff that I was told when I was a kid, it's actually not like, I remember my brother telling me that this is just a classic example of me believing it far too long, almost till I was an adult, that tea bags were actually made up with the dust from the vacuum cleaner.
Oh no.
So for years, I'm just like, I'm never having a cup of tea. And I kept holding on to that for far too long. So ridiculous. I'm just like, damn you. But that's a pretty extreme example. But this is just what we do, right? We see something or we hear something.
Yeah.
And now, oh my gosh, social media, forget about it.
Oh,
yeah.
Now,
yes. Yeah.
Where's our influence now, right?
Exactly.
In our pocket, and we look at it all the time.
That's all the wrong information. Well, I mean, there's some good information, but a lot of times it's not good.
And it's tough to find the right person who has the experience like yourself, who's part chef and corporate and been involved in so many things and family and nutrition. Like, to find the right person with the right experience in that space is very difficult.
Yeah.
There's a lot of noise.
There's a lot of noise.
Oh, yeah.
And usually it's the noisy ones who stand out. But if their information is not qualified, like how do you find a qualified voice to give you advice, especially when it's to do with your body?
Yes.
You want that. I don't want someone who has been eating healthy for 3 weeks and it goes viral.
I did a weekend course and now I'm a nutritionist.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm just like,
All those 20-year-old girls that are like, all you have to do is just eat chocolate biscuits every day and you're going to be skinny. And it's like, you are 20.
Yeah, I'm like, come back and see me when you're 40.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll see how healthy you are. Yeah.
Now, Bridget, you go.
Well, the body changes, right? With every decade, our body, and so I'm not trying to leave you out, Cabrasca, but as a female, especially as females, our bodies change quite dramatically as we go through these different decades. And we can't eat how we used to eat in our 20s when we're in our 30s, or when we're in our 40s, or in our 50s, or in our 60s. And we don't often keep up with the changes that our body is naturally going through. So I am a little bit skeptical of a 20-year-old fitness instructor giving me a 50-year-old woman advice. I'm a bit like, I'm not sure whether that's what I want. I'm not saying anything's wrong with that, but for me personally, if that person needs to be qualified for a start.
Yes.
I'm just a little bit more wary of who's giving me the advice, because it's such a busy and noisy space.
Yes. So Bridget, on that point, if someone is watching and and they're feeling exhausted, they're having inflammation, they're feeling overwhelmed and in that noise, in that space, and they're trying to find a way through, what's the very first thing that you think they should do in order to try and help themselves?
So the first thing, I can speak from experience and what I did, because I felt all of those things. I was overwhelmed. I was exhausted. I was still really, really depressed and really full of anxiety. And so that I realized that if I was to, look at my entire picture, this journey, this mess, it was like I was looking at Mount Everest and I had to climb it, right? And I'd never even been in the snow, let alone climbed a mountain. And so it was so overwhelming. I just readjusted my focus and thought, you know what? What's one thing that I can do today? And it's all about taking action in that moment. Rather, I'll start next week, I'll start next month, at the beginning of New Year's resolutions, that sort of stuff. I knew I had to start taking actions, and that meant taking a step, but I couldn't climb that mountain. So I just took one step, and my one step that I did is I made sure that my next meal was a healthy one. Wasn't really sure what that looked like at the time, but I was like, hey, you know how to cook, you know how to make things taste delicious. Just take some healthy ingredients, you know, and I'm just like, nah, you know, thinking it's going to be really horrible. Just take whatever you've got already in the fridge, already in the pantry, and just make one healthy meal. Just do it, right? Don't put toast in the toaster. Don't make crumpets. You know, don't eat a packet of chips. Just make the next thing that you put into your mouth a healthy one. And I did it, and it was like, oh, that was actually not bad, you know. And I didn't expire. I didn't pass away. Right? It was tasted okay. So then I made another one. And I was like, oh, that was pretty good too. And I literally took it so slowly, and it was step by step by step. And every time I would make a recipe, you know, being a chef, took a photo of it. Oh, that looks cool, you know, and because it tasted delicious. I think I was probably about a week into it, and I was like, oh, I should just share this online, because someone, if I'm getting some benefit from it, someone else might benefit from it.
Yeah.
That's how Bridget's Healthy Kitchen was born.
Wow.
By me literally just starting with one healthy meal. You know, I couldn't even look after myself, couldn't look after my family properly, but I knew that if I was to just do this one thing, it's a start.
Yes.
Something better than doing nothing, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's, you know, that's where a lot of people stop or don't even try, because they're too scared to actually start, right?
Yeah.
So if we were thinking about our Māori and Pasifika communities, so Bridget, you are a proud Māori woman, what is something that they can do? Because, you know, our communities, we have extra problems or extra issues that maybe some other people don't. What are things that you recommend for Māori and Pasifika people?
So one of the reasons I keep doing this. So I started Bridget's Healthy Kitchen because I was eating myself to death. I was not the person that I expected myself to be when I was a little kid, right? So that's why I started Bridget's Healthy Kitchen. The reason why I keep doing this is because I look at people in my own family. Like, I'm from my whānau's from the very far north of the North Island. I'm from Ngāti Manu, Ngāpui, from that area up there. Yeah. We've got whānau obviously all over New Zealand, all over Australia as well. But my husband's Tongan. So, you know, we've got this wonderful, you know, connection, multicultural environment that we live in. But, you know, at our very core, we can't hide from who we are. He's Tongan, I'm Māori. That's all there is. He grew up in Mangere, I grew up in Otara. You know, we can't hide from ourselves. So the reason I keep doing this, because I see every day, you know, the issues that Polynesians, Māoris and Polynesians have when it comes to managing our health. You know, in my husband's family, in my family, in my extended whānau. And it's so easy for us to kind of shove it away, you know, oh, but we're a very food orientated culture. You know, we hear this within, you know, Tongan society and Māori society. We always gather around kai, and we, again, you know, we just normalize these behaviors. But the truth is, like, the foods that we eat now as Māori, as Tongan, as Samoan, as, you know, as whatever island that's sitting out there in the South Pacific, the foods that we eat now are nothing like the foods we ate our traditional diet.
So true.
Not even close.
So true.
Yeah, not even close. Yes, we still eat kai moana. You know, we still will do home kills, and then we'll have the meat coming in and going into the hangi and all these types of things. But then you've got to look at all the other stuff we eat, because that's not all we're eating. We're not just eating watercress and pork. All the other stuff that we're eating that has caused our bodies to give us these results. And these results aren't good. You know, if you look at the largest, the most unhealthy populations around the world, they're in this part of the world. You know, they're in the Pacific Islands, they are in New Zealand, they are in, you know, all the places that we call home. And it's not getting better, it's getting worse. When diabetes, type 2 diabetes is, you know, one of the biggest diseases that affects our people, and it's almost 100% caused by food.
Yes.
You know, it's not genetic. You can't catch it. You know, it's not a disease. It's actually something that it's a condition that we have because we've never learned how to eat to support our bodies. You know, we eat to fuel it. We eat for pleasure.
Yes.
We eat for a family, an event, or we eat for convenience. And now we also are running into, we have to eat for budget.
Yes. Yeah,
You know,
true.
and it's so hard to maintain all of those areas and then go, but I still need to focus on putting the right food into my body. That's a big ask.
Is that where you see the biggest opportunity lies for our Polynesian people, is getting more education around that and doing like what you did, go on that journey?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like when I first started the journey, we were a one income family and, you know, we had 5 teenagers at home. And so we were struggling, right? It wasn't that we had all this money that I could turn around and go, you know, to the most fanciest organic store and buy all the best produce. Yep. I was making do. Like, you know, we were still eating mince. It was just a little bit leaner than the stuff there.
That's true.
Love mince. Yeah. Good. You know, but it was about, it's almost like going back to how the foods that our grandparents would have recognized. So, you know, if, for example, my nanny wanted to eat bread, she would make the bread.
Yeah.
Right? She wasn't going to the supermarket and buying, you know, 3 or 4 loaves of white bread. She was making takako, she was making rewana bread. So she was doing everything, you know, scratch cooking everything. And, you know, I sometimes think, what would my grandmother, who's now, she's now passed, what would she think if she walked into a modern day supermarket? Would she recognize anything on the shelves?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. She'd be like, what is this, a rice cracker?
Yeah.
Why would I need that? It's so true. So true.
Yeah.
It is a big change. And I still have those vivid memories of being a young kid and going to my grandmother's home, and every morning she would be making rewana. Every morning you would have something in the afternoon. You know,
jealous.
And I wish we could do that. Like that we had a practice like that you and I would make something every day, because we don't. But we should.
I can give you guys some pretty easy bread recipes. So all the food that I do now, so I've been on this journey, this health, I don't want to call it a journey. I've just been living this lifestyle for nearly a decade.
Wow.
So I'm almost 52 years old. In the next couple of months I turn 52. Wow. I started this when I think it was 42, 43 when I started this journey, started Bridget's Healthy Kitchen. And I've maintained, I had an amazing weight loss. Like in 5 months, I lost 35 kilos in 5 months. And I was just getting rid of all of the garbage that my body had been holding on to for so many years. You know, inflammation was gone. You know, I cut down on drinking. Right now, I've been almost sober. I cut down again. January this year, I was like, I'm just going to stop drinking and see what happens. You know, like, and we're 6 months, 7 months into the year, right?
Wow.
And I'm still maintaining that. So, you know, it's this lifestyle, you know, nearly 10 years doing it. My body continues to change. It continues to evolve, which is really fascinating. And it continues, and I want to say this, but I don't want it to sound cliche. I feel that I'm aging in reverse.
Yeah,
as I'm getting older, my body's getting younger.
Yeah, wow,
that is
that's
awesome.
amazing. Did you? Because people would want to know, along with your healthy eating and those 5 months where you lost that substantial amount of weight, were you also doing hardcore exercise or anything like that?
No.
All to do with food.
Wow.
That's incredible.
To begin with, to start with, I didn't want to overwhelm myself, because I had this notion that in order to lose weight, you had to go to the gym. Now that I've been doing this for such a long time, understand the science of how our bodies actually shed or use fat as energy, because fat loss or weight loss is basically using up excessive fat cells on your body as energy. And the logical thing, if you're going, okay, then I've got to burn them, and we think we go to the gym and we go hard out, we're going to lose weight. So if you were to use exercise alone to lose weight, on average, let's say you worked out for 6 months, you could expect to lose less than 1% of your body weight when you started.
Wow.
Less than 1%. That's exercise alone.
Yep.
Now, if you just focus on nutrition, so you eat the right foods, and literally, what are the right foods? Foods that you can recognize when you look, whole foods.
Yes.
You know, you can pick it up and you go, that's an avocado, that's an
Yes.
orange, that's a piece of salmon, that's a piece of steak. Something that's not in a box or a jar or a tin or whatever it is looked at as being a whole foods. It's unprocessed. So you take this whole foods approach to, you know, you drink more water than you do any other beverage. So water becomes your staple. I did, like I said, did no exercise. I just focused on that. So if you just focus on nutrition alone, in that same 6-month period, you could lose about 10% of your current body weight, possibly a little bit more.
Incredible. Wow.
Wow.
That's
if you
incredible.
combine, here's the best part. If you combine exercise and nutrition, that's going to take you up to about 18 to 20% fat loss in that same period, 6 months. So
That's
I didn't go to the
amazing.
gym when I first started, and I had really good results, but they only take you so far. So now I'm a lot more active than when I first started. You know, we walk, do yoga, go to the gym, lift weights. I don't go crazy ever because I've still got a busy life, but I don't ignore it because it's part of that overall lifestyle, right? That overall lifestyle. But not many people of us realize that exercise alone will get you less than 1% change in fat loss. We just go sweat more.
That's
you know,
it.
Go harder.
That's it.
But actually, the trick, the real great combination is if you do nutrition and movement. And that movement doesn't have to be hard out. It's moderate to vigorous once a week, vigorous once a week, but mainly moderate.
We've fallen into that, haven't we? We're like, oh, we'll go hard at the gym. We're training for high rocks, all of that stuff. And we can just eat what we want to eat because we're working hard at the gym. But then it's just like, why are we not getting all the results?
Yes. Yeah. But if you were to do that, add that nutritional element, then you'll see your results will just skyrocket. It'll be like a hockey stick in terms of where you'd go. And it's nice to know that, you know, and just to put it into perspective, we all know about Ozempic and Mounjaro and all these weight loss injections, right? If you just did weight loss injections alone, you could average around about 14% fat loss on your body over that 6-month period. So you're like, okay, so I'm going to be spending how much a month? I'm going to be getting 14% fat loss. But the problem with those types of weight loss injections is you're not just losing fat, you're losing muscle.
Yes.
And once you lose muscle, your metabolism really struggles to come back. So it's kind of like, being able to balance the situation. And the best way to do it is you combine movement and food. And it doesn't have to be strict.
No.
The food, right? It doesn't have to be like you're on a starvation diet, because, well, for me, I want to eat food that tastes delicious because I'm a chef.
Yeah.
I am food focused always, right? If it doesn't taste good, I don't want to know about it.
Yeah.
So, I'm always creating recipes that actually they're restaurant quality. They taste good.
Yeah.
There's something that I could, if you guys, and please do when next time you're in Sydney, please come home and I'll feed you. If you come to my house, I would feed you stuff that you would expect to find on one of my boost camp programs or in one of my cookbooks. I would feed you that food because it's just food that tastes really good. That happens to be really healthy and really nutritionally balanced. But you don't need to know that. You're just eating delicious food, right?
Yeah. And I mean, that's another thing too. We've seen that on your website. You've got a whole lot of supplements and a whole lot of things that go into the food that are good for you, that also make the food more tasty, or there's things there like it's a secret little thing. Tell us about what you've got and how are these helpful for people?
So one of the areas that I really focus on is the health of our gut, because gut health is health. And when your gut is healthy, your body's healthy. And it's really hard to maintain a level of health and functioning immune system if we're dealing with a gut that's full of bad bacteria. So all the products that I sell on Bridget's Healthy Kitchen on our store is ideally for people who are looking at supporting their gut health more. So they're the type of products that feed your healthy gut bacteria, but they happen to also taste really delicious. And they also, like, we've got this one product that's called Inulin powder, and it looks like icing sugar, like it's really fine. Tastes like candy floss, smells like candy floss, but it's a fiber and it's a prebiotic, which means it feeds your healthy gut bacteria. So it supports your gut health, plus it sweetens your food at the same time. You can bake with it. I turn it into really nice fermented pickles. I put it into drinks, hot drinks. I put it into ice creams, anything you want to boost up that nutritional value of the food. And it kind of like, I've got the hacks, put it that way. I like to think of myself as a bit of a biohacker. Yes. Because I understand how we could take something that you might cook in your kitchen and you add a couple of teaspoons of that, you've just nailed it in terms of its nutritional profile. I mean, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, totally.
That tastes good. Yeah.
It tastes good at the same time, and
beats,
look after your body at the same time.
That's right. Like it beats taking 10 vitamin pills a day, and that's not tasty, is it? You might as well have something that you can add to your food that is helping you, that is tasty, rather than a stack of things you have to swallow.
There's that other side of the equation as well, is that often when we're very supplement based or very supplement heavy, I mean, the body is not designed to consume supplements. The body is designed to consume food.
Yes.
So if you can get your nutritional value in actual real food, it's more biodynamically available to your body. So your body can use it to heal, use it to function, use it to promote energy better than if we're trying to force feed it supplements, because often those supplements are lost in the stomach acid. And before they actually get to where they need to go and get absorbed, you've lost 3/4 of the efficiency of those supplements. Whereas food is food, right? Yeah. Food knows what to do. Nature is amazing.
Yeah.
Nature's so clever. And our bodies are really clever. Our bodies have innate understanding of how to heal, how to address different things that might be occurring in our body. We don't listen, but also we're trying to bypass the body's natural instincts, which is food and drink beverages. That's what the body wants to do.
Do you think, Bridget, that's one of our biggest mistakes, or are there other mistakes that people do when it comes to trying to either biohack themselves or eat the right foods? What's some of those mistakes that you've seen over the years of or some of your clients that have shared with you that they've been struggling with?
So the foundation is often, which, when you build a house, you're going to start at the ground up, right? You're going to start with the foundation. So if the foundation isn't addressed first, you're building a very, wobbly, building on top. And often that's what we do. We'll try and leapfrog our way to something, and we'll ignore the foundation, building that really solid foundation. And that solid foundation is your gut. I mean, your gut is the place where your immune system lives. Up to 70% of your immune system lives down there. Your gut is the place where your mood and anxiety will either reside or not. So your gut bacteria, up to 90% of the hormone that just makes you feel chilled out, just makes you feel good about the world, serotonin, that lives and is created in your gut. So, we're missing out on really working on that solid foundation. And we try and leapfrog our way. I'm just going to, I was exactly the same as you guys. I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to go hard. And then 3 weeks later, no results. I'm done with this. I give up. This is ridiculous. Because we haven't started on that very bottom floor in the basement, which is that foundation. So we start with gut health. And when we build a solid foundation, you can build the most beautiful building on top. Man, the world's your oyster, right? What you build on top. But if that foundation is wobbly,
it's going to fall over.
Wow.
Every time.
Makes so much sense, right? It sounds so easy when you say it, that we just need to focus on this, and this. But if I was going to go do it myself, I'd be like, I'm going to go to somewhere and try and put something together. And I wouldn't even know what to do or whether it's going to be beneficial to my own body. Do you find that everyone's bodies are completely unique? They have their own way of working and taking food in, or is it just with your recipes and your food, it can help a lot of people?
So fundamentally, our bodies all work the same, right? We absorb nutrients the same, unless you've got some major something going on in your body. We have a stomach, we have a pancreas, we have a liver, we have kidneys, we have organs, we have intestines. It all functions very similar. And one of the key things, like our bodies need to absorb nutrients, and those nutrients are absorbed in our gut. So if we're not absorbing nutrients, then we're not benefiting from any of the food that we're eating. Hence why I always say start in the gut, right? Start to your gut health first. And it could be the most simple things. There are foods that we regularly ingest that actually trigger poor gut health. So we remove those foods, we remove those triggers, but we replace them with stuff that our gut goes, oh, I like this. And that's that whole foods that I was talking about, right? Things that you can recognize, things that you take to your house and you process, which is cooking. Right? You process the foods. You cook the salmon, you cut up the avocado, you make the salad, you make whatever it is you're making from these whole foods. So you remove the triggers. Triggers can tell you exactly what those triggers are, even more so for Māori Polynesians. Dairy is a big trigger for us, because we tend to be, like 90% of Polynesians are we're born lactose intolerant. That number goes up significantly as you age. So we're born 90%.
Wow.
When we're in our 30s, our 40s, we're done, right? So dairy is a real trigger for us. Gluten is a real trigger as well. Gluten and wheat. There's actually a enzyme in gluten which really disrupts the gut bacteria. Other triggers are things like toxic industrial oils. So these are the things that we find in pretty much all of our processed foods. Things like canola oil, sunflower oil, soybean oil. It's basically engine lubricant that impacts, again, the health of our gut. Very, very toxic. We remove alcohol as well. Alcohol is another trigger for our delicate gut lining. So we remove these elements that are triggering us, keeping that gut unhealthy, and then we replace it with whole foods. In whatever way that looks. You can eat steak, you can eat salmon, you can eat chicken, you can eat pork, you can eat tofu, whatever, right? Whatever that is. And then you add lots of vegetables. But eat the rainbow when it comes to vegetables. Start there. Add olive oil, healthy oil, grass-fed butter, beef tallow, even lard. Lard's healthier than soybean oil and vegetable oil. Right? You start at those things, and you're going to dramatically improve the health in your gut. Not in months, in meals. It doesn't take months, it takes meals for your gut bacteria to begin to alter and change for the benefit. And you think, really? Meals? Yeah, meals. It takes meals for you to start feeling better, for you to start sleeping better, for you to start noticing your body, oh, I'm not getting acid reflux anymore, and after I eat whatever it might be, it happens quite quickly. Unlike going to the gym, where we see results over time. Not saying anything bad about the gym, absolutely love working out, but you can actually see results fairly quickly by taking those steps. And taking those steps tomorrow, you'll feel better the following day.
Wow.
How crazy is that?
That's amazing.
That's incredible.
So do you have,
so incredible.
For people who, want to make this change and make that step, do you have meal plans available for people who want to do that?
Absolutely. In fact, what I'm going to send you guys, I should have sent this before we even got on live. I'm going to send you guys a meal plan I created. It's called the Quick Boost. So it's 3 days of the type of meals that you would see if you were to do my 28-day boost. So it's a 3-day program, right? You can buy everything in the supermarket in one store, right? It's quick and easy to meal prep. And then you've got healthy meals. You've got, 9 healthy meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 3 days. It might take you an hour to do your shopping, then an hour to do some very simple prep to get those meals prepared for you. So I've kept it really simple. So these are the type of results that I've seen people get on the 3-day boost. I had this one lady, she was based in the UK, and she was struggling. She was a single mum, so she didn't have a lot of money. She couldn't take that time to prep. So I said to her, look, before I put you onto the 28-day meal plan, which I've created, I think 50 of them. I've written 50 meal plans in the last 10 years. They're amazing. But to get someone started, to show someone the possibilities, the opportunities, I said to her, look, I'm just going to put you onto the 3-day boost because it's nutritionally balanced, it's easy, it's quick, it's budget friendly, and it's going to give you a taste of what your body can do in 3 days. And so she came back to me after the 3 days and she was like, I don't know what happened. I think my scales are broken. She goes, I'm really upset, because I did it. You're right. It was really quick. She just went into Tesco's because she's in the UK.
Yes.
Went to Tesco's, got everything. I mean, you can get everything here in Coles and Woolies in Australia, Aldi, New Zealand, Pack and Save, right? Get it anywhere. She goes, I went into Tesco's and got all my stuff and it was really quick to put together. And thank you for that. But I think my scales are broken because I jumped on the scales this morning and this was after the 3 days. She goes, I've lost five kilos. She said nearly a stone, which is 7 kilos. So I've lost nearly a stone. She'd lost 5 kilos. She couldn't believe it.
Wow.
And so she kept on going. She was like, I don't want to, can I do it again? Can I do back to back? And I'm like, yeah, because I said to no, your scales aren't broken. This is your body letting go of inflammation. Wow. This is your body letting go of any fluid that you've been holding on to. This is your body allowing itself the time and the space to say, I'm ready now to lose fat.
Yeah.
So she's continued. She came back and she did 28 days and she's done a few of those. And now she's, she hasn't been this weight since before she had her kids when she was in her late teens.
Wow.
She could not believe what she had achieved in only 3 days. And it was literally her body going, finally, I don't have to hold on to all this garbage, this inflammation, this excessive fluid. I'm going to let it go. And then I'm going to get ready to start burning or getting rid of fat. So yeah, I'll send that to you guys. And
yes,
if
please.
Anyone who wants it, you can just happily send them a link.
You.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be amazing. We are going to do it.
We're going to do it. Yeah.
You're going to love it.
Yeah.
It's
we're going to do it.
Food, restaurant quality, but it's simple and it's like I said, it shows your body what you can do. The opportunities that our bodies have that we often think 3 days. What can you do in 3 days? Oh, we can do a lot.
I'm down.
We can with your help. We can with your help do a lot in 3 days.
Exactly.
Like imagine, if you can do that in 3 days, what can you do in 28?
Yeah.
I'm very much a person who believes in data. As I love looking at, comparison charts of where someone starts and where someone's gone. So we just finished doing a 28-day challenge in our Boost Camp community. So that's the community. We call it Boost Camp as opposed to Boot Camp because it's going to give you a boost in the right direction. So Boost Camp is 28 days. It's a nutritionally balanced meal plan that you get. You get all the recipes. You get the community support. You get all the learnings. We've created an academy. You get to join in on live workshop seminars that we do. I mean, it's a really robust system that I've created. And we do little fun things, challenges and stuff throughout the time. We just finished doing a 28-day challenge. So you start on day one, you take one photo of something that you want to transform. For example, we had people that were taking photos of the scales or themselves. They wanted to transform weight. We had people that were taking photos of their face. This one lady, she had really bad rosacea on her face. And she wanted to see what 28 days of looking after your gut health could do for her rosacea. And then we had this one lady who took a photo of her blood test. She went and got her cholesterol tested, and her cholesterol was high. It was really high. And she was worried. She was in her 40s, and she was really worried for a 40-year-old to have high cholesterol. So that was her day one photo, her results. Day 28, she went back the next day. She got another set of results done, took another photo. All of her cholesterol markers were in the healthy range after 28. She couldn't believe it. Man. She was just like, and she lost weight, of course.
Yeah.
That was a given, but she could not believe to see that results for herself. The evidence there to say that your body can not just begin the healing journey, it can do some really impressive things in only 4 weeks, 28 days.
Bridget, it really feels like with your support and your knowledge and your know-how and the things that you're sharing with your beautiful community, that you're actually also teaching them how to self-care themselves and how to empower their eating, where it changes their lives in so many ways. Is that one of the not the reasons that you built your fantastic business, but does that become an additional bonus to the incredible work that you've laid the foundations for?
Absolutely. It's not just a diet, there's more to the story for people than just eating the food. Even though if you just did a boost camp and you ate the food, you'd get results, right? Yeah. It's about empowering people with knowledge, because knowledge is power.
Yes.
And often we have a knowledge gap of what we know and what actually works for us. And when we're able to empower people with the knowledge, they take control. You give someone back their power.
Yeah.
Like now I have people who don't have to think what it means to be healthy. It's just automatic. They don't have to go, oh, is this a healthy food? Should I pick this one and put it in my trolley? They just know because they've empowered themselves to know.
Yeah.
You know, they don't feel scared if I'm going to go away for, you know, for a holiday for 2 weeks. I'm going to probably put on a bit of weight and have a good time. They don't care because they know exactly what to do the moment they're back in their house and they're back into their routine, and that weight just comes straight off again. So empowering people with knowledge gives them back the control that for so many decades we haven't had. You know, we thought, oh, I just got to count calories. Well, that doesn't work. Oh, I just got to do this fad diet. Oh, that doesn't work. You know, but if you actually know how your body works, how your body responds to certain foods, you then decide, you know what, I am going to eat this because I know exactly what to do.
Yes.
I'm not guessing my way through it. I'm actually knowledgeable enough to know that I probably shouldn't eat that as much. I'll have a few treats. You know, that'll be my treat side. But these are the foods I'm going to lean into more. These are the foods that I know give my body strength, give my body energy, give my body the opportunity to continuously heal. Right? And that's so powerful.
It is. It is.
That message is so powerful.
It is.
You know, if people are coming to you and being like, oh, Bridget, like you mentioned that single mum, obviously busy raising children, working, doing all the things. And that 3-day challenge was a great example of how to navigate that. If you do have other busy mums and dads coming to you and being like, Bridget, it's just too much. What am I going to do? Like, what would your main one piece of advice be for them if they just are too scared to commit?
Yes.
But too busy to commit at the beginning.
Yeah. And that is a huge reason why many of us don't. It's because we're busy.
Yeah.
And we can't see a way through because we're so busy. How can I now stop and learn this? And so what I would say to a really busy person is, I don't want it to sound easy because it's not. I mean, I struggle with this. This is not something that because I'm a busy mum, I'm a busy wife, I'm a busy business owner. You know, I work 7 days a week. I usually put in, probably like yourself, you know, like yourselves, I'm putting in 14 hours minimum, anything up to 16, 18 hours regularly per day. Right. But what I do know, firstly, I have this very strong mindset that if I don't look after my body's going to stop working. And I've had far too many people die prematurely. Far too many people die from diet-related conditions in my own family. People I love, people I went to school with, who are now dying in their 50s, right? Having heart attacks. Far too many. So for me, I have this mindset. Like, it's really hard to cook your own food because that would be my suggestion to that person. If they said, I'm really busy, I said, you need to take control of your kitchen because when you take control of the food that you eat, you take control of your life. You're in the driving seat. You're not letting someone else dictate what ingredients they put into that food because you are the one who's doing it. So that's what I'd say to them. And if they say to me, it's too hard, I don't have time, I say to them, well, choose your hard. You can either choose to do it now or you can wait and your hard's going to be in hospital, sick, unable to work, unable to do the things that you want because your body said, I can't do this anymore, I'm done. Right. So I say to them, choose their hard. And I know it's a bit tough, but sometimes we have to be. We have to draw that line in the sand to say, well, when are you not going to be too busy? Is that ever going to happen? Or are you going to continually put more obstacles because you're just having this awesome busy life? Not that it's a bad thing, but if we don't stop and draw that line in the sand and say, well, you know, when am I not going to be busy? When I'm retired? Then our body's done, right?
Can't do anything.
Yeah, that's right.
So choose your hard. But my number one piece of advice would be to cook your own food. It is the single most powerful thing that you can do for your health is to cook your own food.
I just think we just don't take that time to put into ourselves to just have that hour, that 40 minutes that it takes to prepare and cook something. We just give ourselves so many excuses for no reason in this day and age, don't we? And if we're not giving ourselves excuses, we're on the bloody app trying to order it in instead because we think we're too busy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't do anything for our gut health, our body, our well-being, or anything. So we're making the wrong choices right from the get-go.
Yeah.
And like, how do you start cooking your own food? Boil some eggs. You've always got boiled eggs in the fridge. That's one thing that I would do, right? I'll be like, make sure you always got that. This is my cheat code that I'm giving you guys now. This is what I do when I'm super busy. I've always got hard-boiled eggs. In fact, I like the really jammy yolk. You know, the really
me
jammy
too. That's me
So
too.
the white's completely set, but the yolk has still got that kind of jamminess to it. So this is how you get to that point. So for me, every time I peel my egg, I know it's perfectly cooked the way that I like it. So you boil the water, you bring the water to the boil, and then you very gently lower the eggs into the pot so they don't crack, obviously. And then you let the water come back to the boil. Set your timer. This is very precise. 6.5 minutes is jammy egg yolk. So I do that. I've always got boiled eggs in the fridge. That's number one. I sometimes we don't have enough time to cook protein. Protein's a really important part of the nutritional, building blocks that we have to consume every day. I know everyone's into protein right now.
Yeah.
You know what the best protein that you can buy if you're in a rush? It's already done for you. So cans of tinned sardines in olive oil.
Really?
You can buy them in Coles and Woolies. They're on special sometimes for $3.20. One portion of protein is going to cost you $3.20. One tin is the perfect portion for one person. It's about 125 grams. That fish, you can either get sardines, mackerel, or salmon. Stay away from tuna. Tuna's a predatory fish. It can often have a lot of really high mercury load, which is not too good for the brain. Go for the smaller fish. I love mackerel, tinned mackerel that you buy in Coles and Woolies here in Australia. Fantastic. It's in a yellow box if anyone's interested. It's in a bright yellow box. In the tin fish aisle, it is the perfect protein because not only is it got the bones in it, so you're getting calcium through it when you eat the soft bones, but the tin fish also is high in omega-3 fatty acids. Now, these are really good for your brain health. They're really good for your heart health, and they're also anti-inflammatory. So you've got the perfect don't have to cook, open your sardines, hard-boiled eggs, grab yourself half an avocado, put a big pile of any type of, sauerkraut or kimchi, fermented foods on the side, big handful of lettuce, you've got lunch, you've got breakfast done for you just like that, right? So that's how I eat when I'm busy. These are the things I've always got in my fridge, my little cheat codes.
So that's very quick and easy. And then, Bridget, what would you say for people who maybe don't like fish? What would be an alternative to those? Yeah.
Now we're talking about roasting chickens. So once a week, I will roast a big chook. Pop it into a. So what I do, it's another little hack, is that I will clean out the fridge of all the the vegetable crisper before it gets thrown in the bin. So you clean out the vegetable crisper, and I've got things like daikon radish, and everyone's like, what? Fennel, and I've got broccoli and cauliflower, whatever, eggplant, whatever's in there, right? Chop them all up, stick them into a roasting tray. So I'm basically making roast vegetables, but not your traditional potatoes, sweet potato. I'm doing high fiber roast vegetables. I'm literally cleaning out the fridge. You can put cabbage in there. You can put fennel in there. I put cherry tomato. You can roast any vegetable, right? Sometimes I'll put sweet potato in there as well. Whatever I've got, I'll just big tray of roast vegetable that might last me, that's like maybe 4 or 5, meals worth of vegetables, maybe even more for me and my partner. I will then take a chicken, big one, just a little bit of maybe a little bit of grass-fed butter on the skin, a little bit of salt on top, throw some garlic cloves up the bum, just to give it a bit of flavor, and I will put that chicken on top of the vegetables on a wire rack. So the chicken's like sitting on top of the roasting tray. So as the chicken's cooking, the juices are dripping down all over those vegetables. So then I've got chicken and roast vegetables for 3 or 4 meals for me and my partner. Also 3 or 4 meals because it's a really big chicken, lots of vegetables. So I'll do things like that. Things that are don't take long to prepare. They get done, and then I batch cook basically for as long as I can.
I love that idea with vegetables because we always have that section is always full of stuff, and we end up just bloody chucking it out. I've never thought of roasting once. Like it's
Yeah.
never come up.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Our oven is completely clean because we
'Cause
do
it's
not
never been
roast
used.
or cook in it.
We're going to change that though, Bridget. Don't worry.
But
We're going to change
we use the air fryer every day.
I love air fryers. Like, I wish I invented the air fryer. I think it is the best kitchen appliance that has been invented since they made electric ovens, right? Since we didn't have to light the fire.
Yeah.
The air fryer is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I just wish it was a bit bigger. 'Cause
Me
I would
too.
do that. I would do that roast chicken and those vegetables because because chicken fat's actually really healthy fat. It's good fat. People saying, oh, you got to take the skin off your chicken. Forget about it, man. Eat the chicken skin, right?
Yep.
Eat, because that's healthy fat. Nature is so clever. What it's done is it always wraps protein with fat, right? It's the best way to have it. So eating these types of whole foods are actually really, really good for us. Better than just eating chicken breast. Eat chicken thigh, bit of fat on it, right? All that sort of stuff. But here's funny that you should mention the oven. I did this event once. I know I worked with you guys on events back in the day.
Back in the day.
Back in the days we did events together. So I was doing this one event for a gentleman, and he had a beautiful home. He'd been living in this home for about 10, 15 years. And so I come in as a chef to set up and do the food side of it. And it was a really big party that was happening. And he's showing me around the kitchen. Oh, there's the oven. So by the time I got to, set up for the actual event, I opened the oven and the plastic was still inside the oven.
Wow.
10, 15 years. And I was just like, Edward, is it okay if I take the plastic out of your oven? He goes, oh yeah, I've never used that.
Wow.
Plastic in your oven is no question.
No,
we have used it a couple of times to heat up fried
once.
bread when we had hangi one day. But no, it does get a bit of use. But we're all over the air fryer mostly.
100%.
Yeah.
I love the speed. I love the crispiness.
We do too.
I'm all about speed because I just don't have time. So I do things that don't require me to be in the kitchen very long. So I make all my own bread, but I can make a loaf of bread. I can mix it in about 3 minutes and I can bake it in 25.
Wow.
I can bake it in the air fryer. So, I have another one of my little mottos that I've learnt to take on board is that if I don't cook it, I don't eat it. Like it's not all the time. So 80 to 90% of the time, that's my motto. Yep. If I don't cook it, I don't eat it. So if I want bread, I make bread. If I want cake, I make cake. So I have all these really quick recipes for instant cake and instant bread.
Send it over.
But that's good. I mean, because you want it in that moment, right? You want
do.
If you feel like,
those.
I just want to have my cup of tea and biscuits, or cup of tea and cake, and then
piece of cake.
Yeah, you don't want to spend like another 3 hours making the cake. By that time, you're over it, right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna you don't want to eat it by then. So
I've
if
got
it's
express recipes for all that. So I want a chocolate brownie. I've got like a 2-minute chocolate brownie.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right now, I could do that.
Now, Bridget, you built, Bridget's Healthy Kitchen from the ground up. You've created this beautiful global community that follows you, advocates for you. You've changed their lives. What has been the biggest lesson in building an online business that you can share with the people that are watching? What's been one of the biggest learning lessons that you've gone through?
Yeah, it's been a really amazing journey watching the community evolve and the community grow. And one of the things that we always wanted to create was a sense of home, but online. We are who we are. Like I said, I come from a big whānau up north. I miss them greatly being here in Australia. I miss being able to just hop in the car and drive to the marae and help someone do the dishes, and I want to create that feeling, but online. So we introduced that sense of marae through our community. It's a supportive environment. It's a place where you go just like we would go back home, right? We'll go to the marae to listen to auntie and uncle talk and share wisdom and knowledge. We would follow protocols because that's what we did. There was rules, and being on the marae, no shoes, and you got to, make sure if you wet the tea towels, you got to take them home and dry them and bring them back the next day. There's rules about that, and it's the same with our community. But at the same time, there is someone who make sure that the community is well supported. We make it a safe space, which is really important as well.
Yes.
Because if we don't have a safe space, people won't feel like they want to share. So we just adopted what we do instinctively, which is to share in a community way with our online community of, once we're strangers, now are people that I actually consider to be friends. And we've got thousands and thousands of people all around the world who think that me and my husband are hilarious because we also treat each other. It's very much a similar to a relationship like this with your own. You can't hide who you are.
No,
right?
that's true.
We're teasing each other online publicly, and the audience just think the community thinks it's absolutely hilarious. So we're just being ourselves. I think is the key to growing a really nice community, and they are nice, like they're really nice. And I don't take them for granted. Yeah. Because I know that I look after them, but they look after me too. They look after me.
Speaking of community, and as you said, you've helped thousands and thousands of people. So I know why they're nice to you, because you've saved them. You know, you've done so much for them. So is there one client story or that really stands out to you over all these years?
There is obviously there's many, and one of the most humbling experiences that I have is hearing someone give their testimony to me. Like it doesn't get any more grounding than that, because you don't often wake up and go, whose life am I going to change today?
Yeah, true.
You just get up and you go, I need to get to work. Yeah. This is what I want to do. This is what I need to do. I know it's having an impact. I don't know. Maybe hope people like it. Hope people are enjoying it. And this one lady, because as well as we've got the programs that we run, the meal, the Boost Camp community. We've got the different meal plans that people can join in. We've got the e-commerce site where they can buy the products that support their gut health and things they can bake with and make cakes with and all that sort of stuff. We've got all that. But I also do one-on-one nutritional sessions. As a functional nutritionist, I love to be able to sit down with people and really dive deep into their health history and how I can support them even further. Yeah. And so this one lady came to me and she kept on, like she had her booking scheduled and then she rescheduled it. And that's normal, people get busy. And then I noticed that the same name, I'd never met her, rescheduled again. And she probably rescheduled about 5 or 6 times. And then finally I was like, she's here. Fine. Get to meet her in person. So we start our online chat together. And the minute she turns on her camera, she just starts crying. Oh. And she cried almost the entire time. She told me I kept on rescheduling. I was like, I know. I saw you do that. And she said she was just so scared to hear the truth because she knows how bad her health had gotten. She was sitting at about 140 kilos. She was in her early 60s. She was unable to walk unaided. So she had her knees, everything was breaking down in her body. She had to have a lift installed in her house because she could no longer walk up the stairs to get into her house. Wow. And she was just in a whole world of physical and mental pain. And she cried the entire time we had this conversation. And I recognized with her that she was quite a strong personality. She wasn't so, I gave her a bit of a growling. I felt she could handle it. I'm either going to hug you or I'm going to kick you, right? I'm going to give you a little bit of a kick and then I'm going to give you a hug. And sure enough, she responded really well to that type of, that type of moment. And so she went off and we had our chat. She went off and she did her thing. And we kept in touch. She was part of the community. She was sharing. And I could see that she was having some success. But the type of success that she had was life-transforming success. She lost close to 80 kilos for a start. She was, not only was she able to walk up her stairs again, which for her, she couldn't climb her own stairs to get into her house, right? She was running up her stairs. She had a personal trainer. She was going off and living this life that she thought was over. She thought her life was over. She thought she was dying. And she transformed her life. Like, she went from wearing, like when I met her, she was wearing almost like a, it was just this one formless sweatshirt and sweatpants. And then she's taking photos and sharing the community of her in the most beautiful dresses. Oh, look at this beautiful dress that I've just found and picked up. Her transformed. And she did it in such a way that she never thought was possible. It even surprised her on her success. Just the most amazing. And very very reflective, because she knew how close she was to it being over for her. Yeah. That was pretty amazing. Yeah.
That's a powerful story, because you didn't just give her a way to look after herself. You gave her herself back, and then she was able to find a whole new self in that process. That's just that's beautiful. That's
it was really
beautiful story.
It was really like I said, humbling. You know that I was a chef. I never thought for a second that I would be in the health and wellness space. I just thought I'd cook food for people for the rest of my life. And now I couldn't imagine being in any other space. Like, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I look forward to doing it for many more years to come, because the science just keeps on getting more exciting. I love the science. The food just keeps on getting more delicious. So there's all these opportunities out there that just keep me coming back every day.
Now, one last question I have for you, Bridget, before we look at saying goodbye for this time. We definitely need to have you come back to talk 100%. More about your world and share so much with our community. And we're so grateful to have you here. You're a best-selling author. You've sold a whole bunch of copies around the world, international cookbooks and awards that go with that. What would be, if there was one book, what would be the one book that you would tell our community to come in and purchase and read, that they need to read?
I can only tell you one book, because the other ones are all sold out. So do I have a copy with me? Oh, I do. So there's only one book that I actually have copies of. All the other books are physically sold out. I have digital versions of them available on our store. But this is my latest cookbook. It's called Bridget's Healthy Delicious. I'm not sure if you can see.
Wow.
Yes.
Bridget's Healthy Delicious. And so, I was talking about the boost camps.
Yes.
All the recipes in this cookbook are boost camp approved. So they're recipes that I designed for boost camp. In fact, I did a count of the amount of recipes that I've created in the last, almost a decade that I've been doing this lifestyle. So I did a count, because I wanted to create a database of all my recipes, finally doing it. And it got up to 1,700 recipes.
Oh my God. I was not expecting that.
Wow.
Even I wasn't. I was like, sure. So I'm asking, you sure that's how many should be in that folder? And it's 1,700. So 7 cookbooks I've written. That's the latest, Bridget's Healthy Delicious. I've already, since I've released this, I've already got 2 more cookbooks worth of probably more of content that I could create another cookbook. I just don't have time. So that's the latest cookbook, and it is healthy and it's delicious. And again, the recipes are designed for speed and ease and restaurant quality. And of course, nutrient balance. That's the main thing, nutrient balance.
Oh, Bridget, we got to do all the things. We're gonna do all the things, and then we're gonna report back.
Yes.
And
yes, we are.
Tell you about our results, and then keep on going. I think that's the key, isn't it? Keep on going. Consistency.
100%. Because your body will keep on getting better. That's the coolest part. Is it's not you're gonna hit a threshold and go, this is the healthiest I'm ever gonna get. No. Your body will continue to surprise you with things that it can do, things that it wants to do, right? It's pretty amazing stuff.
I can't wait. We need the 3-day, the 28-day.
Yeah, we're gonna buy
everything.
all of that.
Send us everything. We'll share it with everyone.
Share the 3-day with your community.
We will.
If people can start to see what the body is capable of doing, it can really give us an insight of where we can go, what we can do.
Oh, thank you so much, Bridget. It's been amazing. We love talking to you.
Absolutely amazing.
We could sit here and talk all day about food and nutrition and health and all the things.
I can't wait till we come back to Sydney and spend some time with yourself and your husband and come and visit.
Come home. I'll cook.
We may never leave. We Do you have a spare room?
Thank you so much.
The warehouse as well. Yeah. Making some product.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
we can do that.
We can do that
whatever.
too.
Oh, that's not a problem at all. We will definitely do that.
Guys, it's been an absolute honor and pleasure, and just congratulations on all your success. It's so nice to see. Like, we met so many years ago, but here we both are still, or all three of us still doing the do.
Yeah.
We are, and we will never stop doing that, because we need more voices like yourselves to be out there advocating and also sharing the beautiful experience that you are of changing people's lives every single day, Bridget. It could not be more prouder, and we are truly looking forward to the next time we get to catch up with yourself and your husband in Sydney, whenever that is.
And our cat is also very excited. She just came in and said yes, she would like to meet you one day too.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bridget.
Now, guys, you can check out everything to do with the 28-day boost camp that Bridget was talking about on 28dayboostcamp.com. You can visit that website, get all the details, have a look at all the transformations that she has there: fat loss, anti-inflammatory, gut health, built to last. There's so much value within these communities that she's built, that you're not going to go wrong or not have the support you need in order to make changes in your own life. We're in control of that.
Exactly.
We're in control of that.
That's it.
We always, we look at this part of our lives and go, I don't know if I can do it. But I think you and I need to set a challenge.
We love a bit of a challenge.
We love a challenge. It's not a competition, but everything ends up being a competition.
Everything in life is a competition with us too.
Especially between us two.
But I mean, let's start with the 3 day.
We totally need to do it.
And then we'll get the 28 days and we'll keep on doing it.
And then Bridget also has another website that you can check out as well, which is Bridget's Shop, or Bridget's.shop. You can check out Bridget's Healthy Kitchen. On here is all her products that she has built herself. She's also got so many meal plans on there. There's a lot of value. Visit the website, check it out, do some of the recipes, join her 3-day boost, and do her 28-day boost. I'm telling you, it's going to be worthwhile. We're going to do it.
We're going to do it.
And then we're going to report back to all of you.
We'll share the links as well, and on our website, on our blog posts as well, and so people can click on those and find out more for themselves. But yeah, it's well worth it. Like all those stories, even Bridget herself, she's lived it. That's why it's so good. She's actually been through this process herself. So
I've learned so many hacks this evening. Like, if you don't cook it, don't eat it.
I know.
Do you know how much we would actually do if we just did that and followed Bridget's recipes? Yes, this is going to be the start of something good. I can already tell. Yeah. It's going to be awesome. That's us for another week, people. Thank you so much for tuning in to Creative Talk Podcast. Amber and I will be back again Thursday.
Next week.
Next Friday. 5 p.m.
Next week, we will be back. Not on Friday.
Not Friday.
We will be back next week, and we've got a very special guest for NAIDOC week, actually. We do. And we will bring you more information about that early next week.
Looking at supporting the local Indigenous Aboriginal culture that is the movement here in Australia, and we are looking forward to sharing all of her and her amazing mob with you guys next week. So tune back in, Creative Talk, next Thursday, 5 p.m. We will see you guys then.
Have a good week.